My name's Erica.
I'm Eric.
I'm Vinn.
We are operations specialists specifically for coffee shops, and we work for many different companies across the US, helping them with their business. We're answering anonymous questions. I have an anonymous question box linked in my bio, and we just take random questions and answer them. We are talking about how to change the culture of a business when maybe your business is getting a little lax. You're trying to get employees to do what you want them to do, and you have to be a little bit more strict, and like how do you get the employees to be motivated when you have to all of a sudden be more strict? Something that we constantly have to talk about is how to lead with your value system, and this is something that starts like literally from the job posting all the way through orientation, through training, through every little piece. And it would make that these structural changes a lot better if you kind of start from the beginning. So a lot of the work that I do with companies, and now I do it with Eric, is talking about value systems and leading with value systems where we do not have a policy in the company unless it traces back to one of our value systems in the company. And something we talk about with coffee shops a lot is external brand versus internal brand, right? A lot of us focus on marketing, which is like external brand. What do customers think about us? But most of the time, what business owners need is they need an internal rebrand,
hmm
right? What do your employees think about you
hmm
and think about your brand, and how do they feel about it? Because if they love it, they have buy-in, they're passionate about what you're passionate about, making changes won't be so hard, right? So where do we begin?
You opened up a full can of worms on all of
Sure.
that, right? I mean, talking about the internal brand versus the external brand, like really they shouldn't be entirely different. I think it is about making sure that those are all talking to each other because like we certainly have many examples of external brands that came across as very community oriented and very we're taking care of everybody, and then it turned out that the internal brand was quite rotted and right, and that there were bad actors, that there were people who didn't actually subscribe to that value system. So when it comes down to it, understanding that value system and then reviewing it on a very frequent basis. Like if you're having all hands meetings, let's repeat, what are the 5 values of this company? And are we actually adhering to them? Because the more you trust people to take on different positions and operations and growing the business, like the more you're going to have to remind them, hey, these are the values. You're not upholding the values.
And I definitely agree with Eric. They should not be too far off from each other. So let's just take a word, sustainability. Ooh, what does that mean? A lot of people folks talk about like sustainable practices, our sourcing model, things like that. But what does sustainability mean internally? And how does it
Mhm,
reflect on like the actual culture of retention? How to navigate through conversations of conflict with your team members from
mhm.
employee to employee or from employee to leadership,
Yeah.
leadership to employee, and also the leadership team in itself. How do they navigate that? Is their conversation speak to the value of sustainability? Am I looking to grow and have a sustainable relationship with you so we can have a sustainable partnership? So that culture that we produce and that what we're our output is actually truly in line with the idea and concept of sustainability
Mhm.
itself.
Something that I have found myself specializing in over my career has been change leadership, meaning
Mm.
people usually bring me into the company when they're about to make a big change or need a big change and they don't know how to go about it. So I end up being the little change bringer, which I actually really, really enjoy. I think it's really fun. It's very hard. It's very, very difficult to get a group of people to operate and think a different way than how they've already been thinking and doing it because of that muscle memory. It's very hard to change that, right? So to me, what I typically do with companies is focus on their value system first. And if they don't have it written down, if they don't have it very clear, and if it's not known throughout the entire company, that's where we begin. Before you make a bigger change, before you get into stricter policies, before you get into all of that, what do you truly believe in? What do you believe in about 4 areas? It's always 4 for a coffee shop. It's teamwork. It is hospitality, how we handle customers, how we handle each other. It's how we handle the product. So it's quality. And the last thing is how we handle the business, right? So that is that sustainability, that whatever we call it. But every single brand or every single business believes different things about it and would describe those things in a different way. And so part of this kind of practice is to really sit down and really start to document what you believe about those things. And then can we edit it and zhuzh it up in a way that is condensed, concise, and something that is memorable, something that is inspiring? Then with those value systems, that's how we decide on how we're bringing change and how we're bringing structure. And we always point it back to those value systems. You need to be on time, because when we're a great team, we show up for each other and we show up on time to help each other. Also, you clock in and out because we value each other. We care about each other on our team, right? So everything that you're doing, you're pointing back to one of your value systems. If you cannot do this yourself, it's a great thing to hire a consultant for.
Or a team who can bounce all of these ideas with you, you know?
Yes.
I think as well, you know, you're right that everybody has different ways of thinking about it, but I don't know that they immediately have different ways of articulating it. Because I think a lot of people would say one of their values is community. What does community actually mean to you? Like, what are the specifics of it? Because it's going to be different for, you know, a company in the Valley in California than it is
in New York
in New
City
York City,
or
is in
Colorado.
Colorado,
Yeah.
Akron. Akron's one I always point to. We don't have anybody in Akron
I don't
yet.
have Akron,
I
but what
can't
do I
wait for
have?
Akron.
I have one in Colorado. Salida. Shout out Salida, people.
But yeah, I mean, either way, what we are going to try to coax out of you when we do values is a bit more specificity to back it up, just to like understand it better. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to be a paragraph for every single value, but like
it's a page.
It's a page.
It's a well-designed page.
Yes, exactly. So that it's really easy to point back to. Sustainability obviously is such a buzzword. But again, what does sustainability mean?
Yeah.
Because you might be sustainable in one area, you might be entirely not sustainable by other metrics in another area.
Yeah, very true. Love it. All Operation Baddies.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Wow, this is cute.
This is cute. I look cuter on this one than I
know.
do on this
What
one.
do you mean? You're cute in every frame.